Hi, today on Title Talk we're going to talk about sellers who don't want to leave on the day of closing. Hi, I'm James Brown, founder of Title Leap and Florida real estate attorney.
And I'm Alexandra Nieto, title manager for James Brown Law.
And I'm David Velez, closer extraordinaire and chief development officer for Title Leap, brought to you by James Brown Law. So guys, what happened this week with that seller who didn't want to leave the house after closing?
Well, I had a closing and the buyer signed ahead of closing, sent me her money, all good. Seller doesn't want to sign, says that they can't move out on time.
Drag their heels.
Drag their heels. Just crazy situation. Then they say they can't come to closing. So I arranged to have someone go to them.
That would be me.
And through a bunch of comical events,
using our persuasive powers,
signed, but still not out of the house.
So the seller signed the documents, didn't leave the house yet. So now what?
Seller signed, buyer signed. I went to the seller's home and explained to them the potential for a specific performance lawsuit by the buyer, who is our client, who has retained us, and I think the seller was persuaded by that discussion and actually signed. And then now the issue is removing all the personal property. So there's an addendum that we're circulating, hasn't been signed yet by the parties, but it should remedy the issue and provide the buyer with a couple of days of credit, right?
Right. Okay. So yeah, the buyer will get some credit. If they don't move out, it also says that as of a certain time and date that the buyer has the right to move everything out of the property and do with it what she will. And the other alternative to having this addendum and forcing the people out would actually be eviction.
So in other words,
the whole eviction process.
If the seller says, all right, well, I signed this addendum, but you know what, I don't care, I'm still not moving out, they actually would have to go through a full eviction to be removed.
So you have I'd have to figure out whether it would be an unlawful detainer or it would be an ejectment, because there is no lease, but they would have to go through a court procedure to get the people out. What we did in this transaction is we left a little bit of money in escrow so that the buyer had some incentive, had some capacity to bear the expenses of removing them, and the seller had a little incentive to leave. We're still trying to get that thing signed, but we're using all our creative tools to make this thing close.
But the documents, the closing documents are
everything's signed.
So
they're all being held in escrow.
Okay.
So we hold the money and the documents in escrow until we can get all the parties to agree and get the seller to kindly move out of the property. We try to use every tool that we can to do it the nice way,
right,
instead of having to go to court,
right,
which is expensive and time consuming.
Right.
So we try to use addendums and the attorney's
persuasive
finesse.
Powers.
Yeah.
So it seems like, I mean, like, it seems like we're kind of going through all these steps, and the nice thing about using us for closing is that we have the ability, the capabilities to take all these steps, and actually see the whole thing all the way through.
Yep.
Absolutely. And that's the huge benefit of having an attorney in your corner instead of just a regular title agency that doesn't have an attorney.
So if all the addendum possibilities fail, then we will, the buyer will engage us to remove the seller.
Well, hopefully this all ends with a happy ending. We don't have to go that far. So.
Yep. And
update next week.
All right.
To be continued.
Thanks for watching Title Talk with Title Leap, where we are all about empowering agents with the tools to succeed.
You can hit subscribe and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and stay up to date on all our weekly content, and we will see you next week.
Talk about soul.